Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Banter in the Box. It's all going to form. It's the game week 1 review. The new season is underway. Game week 1 is done, and what a game week it was. 3 managers have already gone into the transfer market after the first game week. Is that panicking too early? I don't know. I was one of them, admittedly. We've got a bumper banter in the box to kick the new season off. We've got your game week 1 winners and losers, and as it's the start of a new season, I'm feeling generous. 8. You heard right. 8 game week 1 winners. And as a reminder, the game week winners pick up a manager of the season point. And we've got 4 game week 1 losers who, where they had them, lose a manager of the season point. We've also got quote of the week, which I'm delighted about because the banter has been decidedly lacking so far this season. Very disappointing. No posts on the Family Fantasy Football League Facebook group. What is going on? But I got a quote. And it's not a brilliant quote, but it was the only quote I got, so it's the quote of the week. And I'm hoping it's going to stir up the banter, get the ball rolling on the banter front. We've got the return of the annual Predictor Challenge. It's slightly different this season to previous seasons, and you haven't got long to enter. I'll be giving you the details of that. I got a Wall of Shame update. We will love seeing people on the Wall of Shame. And a new segment, Player Review. We'll keep doing it if you like it. So let me know if you like it. Let me know if you don't like it. And I'll stop doing it. We'll see how it goes. And a Manager of the Season update. The Who the Fuck Is That was worth 4 Manager of the Season points. 3 if you tell me the manager, and a bonus point if you tell me the body part. You don't get the bonus part if you get the manager wrong. We'll see if anyone got it. All will be revealed. So without further ado, the game week 1 winners take a bow. Norfolk and Chance FC manager Angela Addis started the season second from bottom. Now I know what you're thinking. How can she be a game week 1 winner if she's second from bottom, Jeff? Well, it's because the last time Angela Addis was as high as 19th in the table was the 10th of September 2021, almost 4 years ago, since Angela has been as high as 19th. And hey, she could have been 20th. Take a bow also, the Willow Tree winners manager Joe Hawksby. New name, is it going to be a change in fortune? Joe started the season in 17th place. Again, most of you are probably thinking that's way low. Joe hasn't been as high as 17th since the 16th of February 2024, over a year. Take a bow also, I've got a life manager Mops Hawksby, started the season in 16th, hasn't been as high as 16th since the 1st of June 2024, well over a year. Take a bow, Edie's 11 manager Ryan Perrin, another manager who's hoping for better fortunes with a change of team name. And it's worked so far for Ryan. He's in the top half of the table, 10th. Ryan has not been as high as 10th since the 16th of February 2024. Take a bow also, Benny United. Now, Benny United manager Mark Benwell is one of 3 managers who decided to select as a nominated club one of the 2 English sides that competed in the Club World Championships. The Club World Championships was, for the first time ever, was a summer tournament and an extended summer tournament, and that threw up new considerations for managers in the Family Fantasy Football League. 3 of our managers, Mark and 2 others I'll come to, decided to pick either Manchester City in Mark's case or Chelsea in the 2 others' cases as their nominated clubs, with a lot of players from their nominated club in the side. which allowed them to amass the points that the Chelsea and Manchester City players scored during the Club World Championships. And that's elevated them to a higher league position than they otherwise would have done. Now, only 3 managers went down that route. The other 17 managers, myself included, obviously looked at it and thought Chelsea and Manchester City have had no pre-season to speak of. I mean, judging by Man City's performance in the opening game of the season, it doesn't look like it's going to be a problem for them, but with no pre-season to speak of, the other 17 managers are thinking that's going to come back to bite their players as the season progresses. They'll be out injured or lost of form or whatever, and there will be opportunities to catch up. But 3 managers, Mark included, have decided to go down the route of banking the points early. And Mark has not been as high as 4th since the 20th of May 2022, over 3 years. Take a bow, also another one of those managers who's gone with one of the Club World Championship clubs, although in fairness to George, he goes for this as his nominated club every season. Chelsea's a Chelsea fan. Clockhouse Rangers manager, great Uncle George Mooney is 2nd in the table. Now, George has been in the Family Fantasy Football League for 30 years. He has never, ever been as high as 2nd in the table before. It's the first time ever. Great going, George. And take a bow also, Rayleigh Rovers manager Simon Hoxby went for Chelsea's his nominated club, which has only packed his team with Chelsea players, which has given him a commanding lead. He's top of the table, and he hasn't been top of the table since he last won the Family Fantasy Football League on the 1st of June 2010. Over 15 years since Simon has been top of the table, but that's where he sits. Our final game week 1 winner, take a bow, Greece Lightning manager Alexi Lagos. Now, the interesting thing here is Alexi is a game week 1 winner because he got the weekly win in the opening week of the season with 55 points. The defending champion started off as he left off, and the reason the title of this video is it's going to form is because whilst Alexi, the #1 rated manager in the year following Steve Holmes' relegation, was the highest scorer, the #2 rated manager, the Creed Brasson Society, was the 2nd highest scorer in game week 1, and then the manager ranked 3rd in the FFL, the big Bostocoglis manager Niall Ponsford, was the 3rd highest scorer. Those 3 managers scoring over 50 points, the only 3 managers to score over 50 points in the opening week of the season. So it is all going to form 1 manager of the season point for those 8 managers. Your game week 1 losers, by contrast, hang your head in shame. The Creed Bratton Society. The Mad Hatter. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jeff, that's harsh. He's 3rd in the table. Yes, he is. But he hasn't been as low as 3rd in the table since the 20th of December last year. So that's a poor start from the man who's finished in the top 2 for the last 2 seasons. And that makes him a game week 1 loser, even though he's a 2nd highest scorer. Also, the Musketeers manager, Sarah Goodwin, is a game week 1 loser. Started the season in 11th place. You have to go back to the 20th of December last year for the last time Sarah was as low as 11th. Legends 23 manager Keith Simons has had a mare, 18th in the table, 3rd from bottom. One of those 3 managers that felt they needed to go in the transfer market in game week 1. You have to go back to the 15th of December 2023 for the last time Keith was as low as 18th in the table. But the biggest loser in game week 1, hang your head in shame, Anders FC manager Stephen Lee. Bottom of the table, the lowest scorers in game week 1 with just 23 points. Where they had them, which is everyone other than Keith, 1 manager of the season point lost for those guys. Now, quote of the week, and it is from this guy, Benny United manager Mark Benwell, who, on seeing the game week 1 table, which only went out a couple of hours ago, quickly sent me this quote: "It's great to see Chris Hoxby in the bottom half of the table, where she belongs." Igniting the Benny United I've Got a Life rivalry. We've lit the blue touch paper. We just need Mops to respond. Let's hope she's watching these Banter in the Boxes. But that was the quote of the week. Yes, it was the only quote I had, but it was worthy of a manager of the season point. Well done, Mark. Predictor Challenge. It's the annual Predictor Challenge. Most of you will know all about it. But if you don't, let me take you through it. There's a slight change to previous seasons. But what I need you to do is I need you to send me your predictions of the following things. Who is going to win the Family Fantasy Football League title? Who is going to finish runner-up in the league? Who is going to finish 3rd in the league? Who is going to win the Family Fantasy Football League Cup? Who will receive the wooden spoon? And a new challenge, who will be crowned the manager of the season? Now, I need you to send me your predictions for those 6 questions by Thursday the 28th of August, so that next Friday when I do the Banter in the Box I can tell you all what the predictions were. So you have to send me your predictions by the end of Thursday, the 28th of August. For every prediction you get right at the end of the season, you will earn 5 manager of the season points. So a possible, if you're Mystic Meg, 30 manager of the season points on offer if you get all of those predictions right. Don't forget, you need to send them to me, email, WhatsApp, text, Facebook Messenger. I don't mind. Send me your predictions by the end of Thursday the 28th of August. Wall of Shame. We already knew Benny United manager Mark Benwell was on the Wall of Shame for entering an invalid team. He was the first manager to do so this season, but since then we've had 3 more invalid teams entered before the season started. No happy endings manager Di Maloney joins Mark on the Wall of Shame. Picked 2 players from a club that wasn't her nominated club. Jumped the gun on Jack. The rules say you pick from the player listings, and Di didn't. She worked on the basis that Jack Grealish had joined Everton, but at the time she submitted her team, he hadn't yet joined Everton, so her team was invalid. Also, Niall Ponsford, the big boss de Cogless, he hasn't changed his team name, even though Ange has been sacked. He's honouring the manager that ended the long Spurs trophy droughts. And it was an interesting one with Niall Ponsford. He entered the Wall of Shame in entering an invalid team. He entered the team that added up to £100 million. Now, I don't know how many times I've issued the rules at the start of the season, but when I emailed Niall to tell him that his team was invalid because it added up to £100 million and the budget was only 80 million, he said, oh, I thought the budget was 100 million. So the approach to, I won't bother reading the rules, I'll just have a guess, was an interesting one, and it didn't work out for Niall, so he's on the Wall of Shame for entering an invalid club. And finally, Ryan Perrin entered an invalid club because he had 2 players that weren't from his nominated club, and that was because he thought that Erling Haaland played for Manchester United instead of Manchester City. So those managers have all now lost a manager in the season point for being on the Wall of Shame. I'm sure they will be joined by others as the season progresses. Now, new segment up next, the player review. These are your top goalkeepers in the Family Fantasy Football League so far. Yes, we're only 1 week in, but if you're looking for a goalkeeper because you're not happy with the goalkeeper you've got, these are the goalkeepers that are starring. Sanchez of Chelsea, 4 managers have gone for him, but he's clean sheet in game week 1, getting him 7 points. He's already on 33 points because of the Club World Cup. You don't get the benefit of them if you transfer him in now. But it's going to cost you 5 manager of the season. It's going to cost you £5 million on an his mind tactical gambit if you want to transfer in Sanchez. Henderson was the top scoring goalkeeper in game week 1 because Palace were involved in the Europa Conference League, and Henderson kept 2 clean sheets this week, so 14 points for him. Only 1 manager's gone for him, me. I thought £9 million was a snip. He's already picked up 16 points this season because he was also played in the Community Shield. And then a host of managers there who picked up clean sheets in game week 1, and with the exception of James Trafford, who Ben United manager Mark Benwell has got, I thought it was quite expensive for 10 million, but a clean sheet, good money. The others are all available for transfer. No one selected Vicario of Spurs, Bissot of Aston Villa, £1 million, and he's already got 7 points. Perry of Leeds, expensive, £11 million, but clean sheet in his opening game. Ederson didn't play for Manchester City last week. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him and Trafford this season. Pope got a clean sheet, he's only 6 million, and Ross of Sunderland, 11 million. Bet people, you couldn't believe I valued Perry of newly promoted Leeds and Ross as newly promoted Sunderland at £11 million, but there you go. I knew what I was talking about. They both kept clean sheets in their opening game week of the season. So if you're looking for goalkeepers, they're the stars at the moment. Top defenders, well, heavily favoured in Crystal Palace because of that European game they had. Gahey, Munoz was the... Gahey and the crew were the high scoring defenders, 12 points each. Munoz and Ballard were the next high scorers with 11 points. Now, Gahey and the crew are available, as is Munoz. None of them are cheap, though. Ballard was brilliant for newly promoted Sunderland, 11 points in game week 1, and someone's already snapped him up. So if you want him, it's going to cost you £5 million of an Oi's mind tactical gambit. Calafiori of Arsenal as well, 9 points in the opening game week of the season. He's only £5 million and is available for transfer. £5 million is a good price for a defender. Midfielders, Semenyo of Bournemouth was the highest scorer, 11 points. Someone's got him. Rinders of Man City scored 9 points and is already on 17. He's available for transfer as well. It's going to cost you £18 million. He's not cheap. Sarr of Palace, Wharton of Crystal Palace and Hughes of Crystal Palace all scored 8 points. 4 managers have got Wharton. He's a bargain, £3 million, but again £5 million and an Oi's mind tactical gambit if you want him. Sarr and Hughes, not bad prices. Sarr 9 million, Hughes 5 million, and they are available. And your top strikers, well, Erling Haaland, Mateta, Richarlison and Wood all scored 8 points. 9 managers have gone for Haaland, unsurprisingly the highest scoring striker last season. He's already on 26 points and 5 goals smashed in. But if you want to bring him in now, if you're regretting not putting him in at the start, it's going to cost you £5 million and an Oi's mind tactical gambit. Mateta, already 2 goals and 14 points, is available, but 20 million is not cheap. But Richarlison, though, 2 goals already, 8 points in game week 1, and he's only £6 million and is available. Chris Wood is not cheap, 23 million, but already got 2 goals. And Hugo Ekitike, Liverpool's new striker, is expensive, same price as Haaland, 25 million, but has already got 1 assist and 2 goals. 7 points in game week 1 was a good return. So they're your top strikers. Let me know what you think of the player review. I'll keep it going if you like it. Who the fuck is that? This was the manager It was worth 3 points if you could tell me which current Family Fantasy Football League manager was pictured there, and if you got the manager right, then you had a choice of picking up another point if you got the correct body part. If you get the right body part but the wrong manager, no points. You need the manager, and then if the body part's correct, you pick up a bonus point. 2 managers had a go, which is fantastic. It's the first time in absolutely ages that Sarah Goodwin has not been the only manager to have a guess. 2 managers had a guess this week. Can we get to 3? Ben United manager Mark Benwell. Welcome back, Mark. He used to be the master of this Who the Fuck Is That when we first launched it. He thought it was a picture of Ostrich Bar Stewards manager Steve Maloney. I'm afraid, Mark, that is an incorrect guess. That is not Steve Maloney. Sarah Goodwin, who plays every week, thank you, Sarah, she thought it was a picture of Legends 23 manager Keith Simons, and she thought it was Keith's ear. That is a correct guess, Sarah. So you get 4 manager of the season points. 3 for guessing that it was Keith Simons, and a bonus point for guessing that it was a picture of his ear. Which means the manager of the season table looks like this, top half anyway. Ryan Perrin, who lost a point for being on the Wall of Shame, but then regained it for being a game week 1 winner, climbs to joint 8th. Alexi Lagos, Mops Hoxby, George Moody, Joe Hoxby and Simon Hoxby went to joint 2nd, getting a point for being game week 1 winners. Ben United jumped up to joint 2nd because he got, having lost the point earlier on in the season for being on the Wall of Shame, he got a point for the quote of the week and a point for being a game week 1 winner. So he got 2 points this week, which takes him up to joint 2nd. But it is Sarah Goodwin that's leading the way. Already 5 points clear. She's the only manager to retain the manager of the season trophy, having won it for the last 2 seasons. No one has ever been crowned manager of the season 3 seasons running. Sarah is hoping to do that. She's already 5 points clear. She was 2 points clear last week, and she got 4 points for getting the Who the Fuck Is That. The reason she is now not 6 points clear is because she lost the point for being a game week 1 loser. And as a reminder, the manager crowned manager of the season will earn £20 million in free tactical gambits to use next season. Sarah is our manager of the season last season, so this season she has £20 million in free tactical gambits to use. The person that comes second in the manager of the season table earns £10 million in free tactical gambits. This season that's Niall Ponsford. And the manager that comes third earns £5 million in free tactical gambits. And this year that is Mops Hoxby. And it's not just about getting the Who the Fuck Is That right or being a game week winner, as Mark has done this week, a quote of the week. Funny posts on the Family Fantasy Football League Facebook group. Send me some juicy information about managers that I can use in Banter in the Boxes. Don't worry if it's true. They're all the kind of ways that you can earn manager of the season points. Get involved. Let's make the fantasy football just as much fun off the pitch as it is on it. But remember, it's all in good fun. I don't want to be cancelled like I was a few seasons ago. God forbid. Who the fuck is that this week? A picture of a current Family Fantasy Football League manager. 1 point. If you can tell me which manager is pictured there, and a bonus point if you can tell me the body part. So potential 2 manager of the season points for you there. And that is it for the Game Week 1 review. So good to be underway. So much more football on the telly this season. Isn't it great? Friday night football every Friday. 2 games every Saturday. 3 games every Sunday, although 2 of them kick off at the same time, so you have to choose which one you want to watch. And then Monday nights, we've had Europe this season, albeit the Conference League, but after the international break, we'll have European football on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's 7 days a week football. How great is that? And at this early stage of the season, even those managers down the bottom end of the table, even at the very bottom of the table, are still full of optimism because there's a long way to go. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and anyone can win the league at this stage. Over the coming weeks and months, people will start to realise they can't win the league, but there's always prize money to play for. Manager of the Month awards, most weekly wins, highest goal scorer, highest weekly total, most number of assists, etc., etc. Just a reminder there that the FFL Presentation Awards for 2026, the date is set, the event has been set up on the Family Fantasy Football League Facebook group. You've all been invited as long as you're part of the Family Fantasy Football League Facebook group. If you're not, just request to join it and I'll approve. So the date is Saturday the 6th of June. We're going to kick off at 1 p.m. Venue at the moment is TBC. It's likely to be at the new Family Fantasy Football League HQ. That's where I want it to be. But if anyone else really, really wants to host it in the 31st season of the Family Fantasy Football League, I'm open to that as well because it was at FFL HQ last season. But if no one wants to host it, that's fine. More than happy to have it at FFL HQ. I haven't told the wife that yet. So when she sees this, if she's going to bother to watch it, I'll probably be in trouble. Anyway, great to be back, guys. Don't forget to get your Predictor challenges in by the end of Thursday. And until next time, take care, everyone.